Hi friends, today we're gonna start web technologies. Okay, so this course is divided into 5 different parts. One of them is starting part is the introduction. The next part we'll see what is called the HTML. In the third part we'll see what is a JavaScript. In the fourth part we'll see what is the server side applications or server side programming. Now here we have the introduction and the topics related to this part. First part is internet, www, and web pages and site, protocols, web applications, web architecture and IP address. So these are the important things which we need to know before getting into the what is called HTML. Okay, because nowadays HTML has become most popular language for writing or creating a web pages. Okay, in order to know HTML, these are the few concepts where we need to know what are the basics and why HTML has come into picture. Now, the first thing is internet. So what is internet? Internet is just, I can say it is a connection of computers. It is a connection of computers. That means if I have a computers, suppose I have 4 to 5 computers, and if I have a connection between them, that means suppose I have some connection between them, then these computers, they can exchange the information from one computer to another computer. That means this internet, it is acting as a source for transfer of information from one computer to another computer. That connection which we need is called internet. Okay, and similarly all the networks which are present are called as internet. That means the connection of all the networks. Suppose this first computer, this might have a network, second computer might have another network, third computer might have another network. All these networks together, they form the internet. Those connections can be, for suppose I have an educational institution, I have one type of network, educational institution network. Suppose others have some organizations like corporate offices and all. They have some computers and they have some another network. They will be working on another network. Those networks and my network all will be connected through a simple or through a single medium called internet. We can access other network, or we can send the messages, or we can exchange the information to another network using this internet. Okay, now so this is about internet. Most people, they often use this internet and www interchangeably. That means they'll think that both internet and www are same, but the thing is that they are different in a big concept. Okay, the thing is that internet is the global data communication system. Okay, this is the global data communication system, whereas this www is also called as World Wide Web, or is also called as W3 constraint. W3 constrium. W3 indicates 3 W's, C indicates constrium. Okay, this www is just a source to retrieve the information of the internet. That means this is to retrieve the information of internet. Internet is basically a data communication system. It has all the networks and all the data. To retrieve the internet, one of the sources is www. Okay, so what type of networks, what type of what type of web we use nowadays is mostly like Microsoft Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox. The first was Mosaic. Okay, that was later developed and we got Mozilla Firefox and also the Microsoft's Internet Explorer. Okay, these we use to access the web pages. Okay, now I think I've given a clear idea about www. It is just a source to retrieve the information of the internet, and it is not same as the internet. Okay, so whenever we are using these terms, we should be specific in nature so that those both are not equal in application. Now www and internet are over. Now next comes is web pages. What are web pages? Okay, so to access the information from the internet, we need some resource again, some source again. Okay, those sources are called web pages, or it is a helpy hand for www to retrieve the information from the internet. Okay, that means if I say this is the internet, to retrieve the information of the internet I need www. Okay, World Wide Web. World Wide Web does this using web pages. World Wide Web are using web pages to retrieve the information of the internet. Okay, or these are also called as HTML documents. Okay, these web pages are also called as HTML documents. So all might have very familiar with this term called HTML. What is HTML is? It is hypertext markup language. It is one of the language used to create and develop the web pages. Okay, nowadays we are using HTML and also CSS, cascading style sheets, to style the web pages which is using or web applications. Okay, we'll get into the details of HTML in the next part, but for the first time, we'll just introduce what is HTML in the later part. Now, so we use web pages to access the internet using the www. Now, this www and web pages and internet, these web pages have hyperlinks called web links. Okay, so one web page will have a link called hyperlink, and that hyperlink is called web link. Now if you click on the link, you will be navigated to the next page. Okay, again from that, if you click on another link, you will be navigated to the next page. Those links which are helping us to navigate from web page to another web page are called web links. Okay, these are different from the URL. Okay, these web links are helpful for us to navigate on the same domain from the one page to another page. Okay, now these web pages are accessible. These web pages are accessible or used through a software, called browser. What is a browser? Browser, it is a software which is helpful to access the web pages. What kind of browsers we use? I already told you. Microsoft Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, nowadays Google Chrome. Okay, those are all browsers. Those are all softwares which we are using to access the web pages. Okay, now what is a website? Okay, what is the website? If I have more than one number of web pages associated with a common domain, okay, this is plus one, more than one number of web pages on common domain. Then I'll say it is a website. Okay, website has more than one number of web pages working on the common domain. Okay, so this is about internet, and this is about www, this is about web pages and website. Okay, now next important one is this protocol and TCP/IP. Okay, so what is a protocol? Now, whenever we have a system, whenever we have networks and all, there should be some guidelines, or I can say there should be some rules, okay, where every system works. It's a network system. So the network system to work, there should be some guidelines to be followed so that the information transfer from one system to another system will be very easy, so that there will be no interventions in between and no obstructions. So in order to go in an easy manner, they have developed some protocol. So protocols are the guidelines or rules to define the system of connection, what type of connection which we are using, and what type of communication system we are using, and what type of data transfer it is. Okay, so these are the just rules. There are some rules which we have to follow. Okay, generally coming to these web technologies or HTML, we use this protocol called TCP. It's a transmission control protocol or internet protocol. Okay, by internet protocol. Okay, so this is a set of protocols. That means there are many types of protocols like HTTP, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, and SMTP. Okay, those are related to some other systems, but whereas here we use TCP/IP for this web technology. This is the protocol which we follow here. Okay, so that is called transmission control protocol and internet protocol. This is used to govern the web and to communicate across the internet. Now whenever we are talking about the web, we are using this TCP/IP protocol. This TCP/IP protocol will be governing the web and also the communication across the internet. Okay, so this TCP/IP uses or gives the set of rules for the web to make easy way of communication with the other systems. Okay, because other systems are all connected using internet. So we are using internet to connect with the other system. Whenever we are using, there should be less traffic to the system. Those are all related to some layers of the TCP/IP protocol, and they'll take care or they'll ensure that the system has a proper connection to the network, and that network is again connected to the other system, and there will be the communication between these two systems in an easy manner. Okay, now next comes is, so of the protocol, next is the URL. Okay, most of the times you might have heard what like in the WhatsApp and all, which we are using in day-to-day life, the public or social media, there will be some URL code. Okay, what is a URL is? It is called Uniform Resource Locator. Okay, it has the address of the web page. Whatever we are using, it has the address of the web page. Whenever you are clicking on the URL, you are directly redirecting to that site. Okay, so that URL is also, we also use URLs here. So we need to know about the URL also. In detail, we will talk about the URL in the next lecture. Okay, so just introducing. So here, so URL is the Uniform Resource Locator, which has the address of the web pages. Okay, now next comes the website using the URL. That means whenever we have website, that website uses this URL to access the web pages. Okay, so this is the protocol and URL thing. Now next comes this web applications. So web applications are mostly two types. One is service oriented, other is presentation oriented. Okay, so web applications mainly service oriented and presentation oriented. Okay, so before going into that, what is the web application? Simple. Applications that are accessed via the web browser are called web applications. Okay, that means wherever you design an application, and if I can use or I can access that application using the web browser, then it is called the web application. Okay, it has these web applications are used by the web browser. Okay, web browsers are in turn related to the web servers. Okay, so indirectly we are using the web servers to access the web applications. Okay, now these are divided into two types: service oriented and presentation oriented. Okay, now here thing is that in the presentation oriented web applications, we have the interactions between the user and the web page, whereas in the service oriented we do not have such kind of facility to interact with the web page. Okay, these are mostly related to the service, that means they provide the network and we need to use it, that's it. Okay, so these are mostly programmed using CGI, ASP and GSP programming languages, whereas this presentation uses the clients of the service. Okay, it is a client oriented whereas it is a service oriented. These uses the clients of the service to access. So these presentation oriented are mostly programmed using HTML, JavaScript and XML programming languages. Okay, so this is the thing related to web applications. Now next comes web architecture. So here I think by now we have got a clear idea regarding this, how this web is working. Okay, so in order to see that, we'll see what is the web architecture. Now suppose the important things for a web to work, or the important components of a web are, first thing is what? It is an internet. We need internet, okay, and we need a user and we need a server. Okay, so we have web server. Okay, so whatever is using, that is stored in the server, and also we need a database to store the information. Okay, and here we have clients. Okay, I'll say client 1, client 2, client 3, etc. And I have a switch. You can also put some antivirus like firewall and all. Okay, these are connected to switch. Okay, so that is a web servers, whereas these are web clients. Okay, what is the web server here? Web server produces and delivers the information. This is the source, whereas these are the utilizers. Okay, it provides the resource, it provides the information, whereas these web clients, they retrieve the information and display the information. Okay, so here in web architecture, the three important concepts are involved. Okay, first is HTML. Hypertext Markup Language. This is required to program to make, or let's say to encode documents. Here we use HTML to encode documents. These documents have hyperlinks. These documents have hyperlinks. Okay. Next is URLs. Okay. URL I already told you, it has the address of the web pages. Okay. And the third thing is, third important thing which is HTTP. It is a hypertext transfer protocol. It is a set of protocol. This protocol has three major steps. This protocol includes three major steps. Okay, it is first, HTTP client establishes a TCP connections to the HTTP server. Okay, now what happens is here, client establish connection to server. Here, first thing. The next is, after establishing a connection, this client sends a request. Client sends a request to a server. That is, what it requests? Now they have information. This is the client. This client wants to use the information. So it sends a request to the server. What? I want to use your information. I want to access your information. Okay. So I am sending a request. Now, if the server is not busy and the server is free to provide its information, then it sends a response here. So first it sends a request. Okay. First, before request, there needs to be a connection. There needs to be a connection. Then it sends a request. Then it sends the response. HTTP protocol includes these three steps: setting up a connection, requesting for the use of the server for the information, and server sending the response or granting the permission to the client. Okay, I am free. You can use my server. You can use my information. Okay. So this is the web architecture mainly. Now, last concept included is IP address. Okay. Generally, IP address is called or what it does, IP address, it says the address, right? It is an internet protocol address. Okay. It is used, that means, suppose I say I have three clients here. Suppose I have, this is some network. I have say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I have 7 systems connected to this network. 7 systems connected to network. And at a time, suppose one of the system in this 7 wants to access the information from the server. Now, how does the system knows that this is the system which wants to access my information? Okay. Now suppose at a time I want, suppose these 3 systems want to access the information at a same instant of time. Then how does this network know that this is the system which I want to give the information? In order to remove that ambiguity, what they have done is they have provided some addresses. They have provided some address. Okay, that means they have provided address to each device, each and every device. It is 32-bit in nature. 32-bit address is provided to each and every device. Okay, and whenever one system want to access the server, network checks for the address. Okay, this is system want to take the access, and it grants the connection. Then the 2 procedures will be undergone. Okay, so in order to recognize what type of device or which is the device want to access the information or to access the computer network, for that reason we need this IP address. IP address. Okay, generally it follows the dot notation. Okay, that means you can see on any server, it will on any IP address, it will be like 192.234 point and something like up to suppose 107.107. Okay, in this way it will be there. This is 8-bit, this is 8-bit, this is 8-bit, this is 8-bit. Okay, overall it is 32-bit address. Okay, so these are the basic, even basics we need to know regarding the, before going into HTML and JavaScript. Okay, the basic concepts about internet, what is www, why we are using this IP address, what is the web architecture, and how does this protocol work. Okay, these are the things we need to know. Okay, and in the next lecture we'll see regarding what is URL and what is HTTP in detail. And I forgot to mention the founder of HTML was Tim Berners-Lee. Okay, Tim Berners-Lee was actually, the HTML was wholly made, or it came into existence fully from May 2001 as HTML 4.01. Okay, currently the version is HTML5, I guess. So we are using HTML5 now, which has more advanced features than HTML4. Okay, even we'll talk about the differences between HTML4 and HTML5 in the next video. Okay, that's all for this video. Thank you.